Hey everybody, it's Kairos, and today I'm here to give you 5 tips to win more games with Ivern. A while back, I had the opportunity to talk with the rank 1 Ivern player, Jamaican Banana, and he shared all of his hidden tree knowledge with me, and now I'm passing it along to you. If you're interested in seeing an in-depth breakdown of his gameplay, you can find that video on my main channel. And remember, for the best chances of climbing the solo queue ladder, be sure to use this knowledge along with the Mobalytics live companion to pull up all the information you'll need to cut down your opponents. The first tip I have for you is a really cool blast cone interaction. In your blue side jungle, you can use your Q to pull yourself across the wall to your blue after collecting your wolves. When your wolves are marked, position yourself on the blast cone to jump over to them, then auto attack the blast cone and throw your Q to the blue buff as your auto attack travels through the air. You'll have just enough time to collect your wolves and then either press your Q again or right click blue buff to be pulled over to it. This will help you shave a few seconds off your clear, get you onto the map quicker, and also it just looks pretty cool. This next tip is to save your crowd control for when you're most likely to land it. Root Caller's projectile speed really isn't the fastest, so it's best to save it until you're guaranteed to either hit the enemy or force a summoner spell. Pre-6, you can improve the chances of hitting a Q by putting your E on yourself or your ally, whoever's closest, and walking up to the enemy. Then when they're slowed from your E, it sets up a much easier skill shot or forces them to flash. After level 6, you can start a gank by sending Daisy in with your E on top of her, and she gets a 25% bonus movement speed buff for the first 5 seconds after being summoned, and so she's very likely to get the slow and the knockup shortly after this slow. If she does get the knockup, you have a full second to chain together your Root Caller to perfectly layer your crowd control and really increase the likelihood of picking up a kill. This next set of tips revolves around getting the most out of your brush placement. First off, you want to always place brushes during ganks and team fights. While in a brush and for 3 seconds after leaving one, Ivern's basic attacks deal 30 to 60 plus 30% bonus magic damage. And we all know how tilting it is to see an enemy escape with 3 HP, and this tip could be the difference maker in a lot of those fights. Also, going in and out of brushes during a team fight can really mess up your enemy's targeting. ADCs especially will be dropping auto attacks like crazy if you're able to utilize your brushes throughout a team fight. You can also use brushes to play mind games with the enemy by placing them in lanes, even if you're just casually passing through, catching a wave, or exiting from a gank attempt. The enemies will know that you were in the area recently as they see a new brush pop up, but they won't know if you're still waiting in the bush for an opportunity to open up or if you've already left. So placing brushes then leaving a lane can create map pressure just from the uncertainty, and the enemy will have to respect the brush until you show somewhere else on the map. Third, you can use brushes to improve your objective control. Placing brushes across a jungle entrance will completely block out vision for the enemy team. They'll have to face check the brush or use valuable wards and sweepers to make sure it's safe to approach, all while you can be putting damage down on the objective. You can also use brushes when you're the team approaching to contest an objective. Ivern has pretty decent range for dropping brushes, and it'll reveal anybody in a brush or in a small area without you having to face check, similar to any other skill shot that you can use to check brush. The next tip is to summon Daisy in a brush or fog of war to reduce your opponent's reaction time. Daisy has a half-second cast time, which is actually kind of long, but the good news is that Daisy gets 25% bonus movement speed for 5 seconds after she spawns. So even if you summon her slightly outside of vision, she can still easily close the gap on the enemy and start stacking her flower power. The last tip is that you can solo Rift Herald using Daisy without ever even going into the pit. From over the wall, Q Rift Herald and summon Daisy to start tanking. You want to position her on the bottom side of Herald so that the eye will spawn facing towards you for maximum damage. Make sure to shield Daisy with E whenever it's off cooldown, and she's always going to have more than enough health to tank the entire time. This could be a good option if you know that the enemy jungler is on the bottom side of the map, but you don't have enough lane priority to safely walk into the pit. Oh, and don't forget to pick up the Eye of the Herald, like I always do. That's going to do it for this 5 tips video. I hope that you learned something new, and be sure to check out all of our other 5 tips videos if you enjoyed this one. I've been your host, Coach Kairos, and best of luck dominating your games with the Green Father.